stupid pet trick thing on Saturday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
This, you can't train this to do tricks. I mean, this doesn't, like, you don't go, yeah, I mean, I can't see this animal, you going, okay, here, you know, fetch, because I think it would look at you and just go.
You know, you can, you know, I've been working, and again, there's two different schools of thought. I mean, obviously working with wild animals is a lot different than working with a domestic. With that being said, believe it or not, and I thought this was interesting that this year that we're going to incorporate cats this year, because people always think that cats, because of their independent nature, aren't very trainable. But, you know, I've seen cats. I mean, I have a buddy that does, he rescues cats and dogs, and he does, like, it's called Pets on Parade at SeaWorld and some of these parks where they actually train these animals to do fun behaviors. Yeah. But no, it's funny. Cats are very, even though they're very independent, you can form a strong bond with your cat. You know, obviously they're very food motivated, they're very movement motivated. And I've seen cats trained to like run A to B. I've seen cats trained to climb up ladders and down. You know, so it'll be interesting to see what people can train their cats to do. That's
My friend had a cat that would fetch.
That's really cool. You know, it's like, you know, but because of their independent nature, you know, people think, you know, they're not going to do it. They're just they're about twice as challenging as a dog to train. So.
And cat people versus dog people, that can be some like nasty
rivalry.
Yeah, it's like a bar brawl could, you know, break out.
But it's.
And my money goes on to cat people because I think they'll just go quilt nuts. They'll get their little knitting needles out and start stabbing. Does this? Can you? This. What is the name of this?
This is a Siberian lynx.
Boris.
Boris. Yeah.
Now, can you play with? I mean, it looks like a fun, like the way you're rubbing it, that you could cuddle with it and like fart around kind of.
You know what? I would say no because I mean you can. I mean obviously very. You know, and understanding this cat and like doing just simple things like little headbutts like this, and you know, you're understanding that you know I have a relation with this cat. Can everyone do this with this cat? No.
If I were to do it, what would happen?
He might actually. He's got enough power. His skull is so tough that if he goes to headbutt you, and that's how cats headbutt, he might knock you out. I mean, that's how strong.
Try it.
Yeah. That's how strong they
I don't
are.
believe you.
Do they do that as a form of defense, like knock you out with their head? And then
No, believe it or not, it's quite the opposite. They do it as a sign of.
It's like a high five.
It's like a high five or like a hug or something. You know, he'll just come up and cats do that, and you know, and I've been hit pretty hard by cats. You know, where they come up and they just hit you in the forehead and you see stars for a second. But a cat like this, you know, a lot, you know, being a wild cat, but a lot like. You know, the cats that, you know, everyone has, or your neighbor's cat or whatever, sometimes they like one person, they might not like another person. I know, I mean, like my parents have cats, and, you know, well, you know, Murph, and Murph, his cats, he can do anything with them, but I walk in the house, his house cat will scratch me. Maybe. His cats are funny. I mean,
now this thing is this lynx.
Yeah.
Is it like what do you feed it? I mean, you can't go to
the pet
PetSmart and go, you know, what do you got in an Iams for a mountain lion?
He actually, well, what's amazing about this cat, he does eat about 5 pounds of meat a day. So he will actually, and really the.
But he doesn't have to kill. It's not like you go and get rabbits and
no, no, you don't have to kill. But I'm glad you brought that up because as part of his working with him and training, not only is it getting him used to walking around on a leash and things like that, but it's also his playtime. You have to provide him enrichment. I mean, we have I've got giant, these big rubber balls on these bungee things, and he pulls them and snaps them back. And
well, I'm glad I didn't wear shorts.
Yeah. He could leap. I mean, this cat right here has a vertical leap of 8 feet. So, I mean, he can.
Stop it!
So this cat will leap, and he'll spin in the air, and actually, when he gets going, it's wild, and it's really quite amazing. So his enclosure is actually, he's got a pretty tall enclosure, and, a lot of branches and things.
I'm going to ask you something stupid, maybe, that may... you've taken these, obviously, I mean, you've been on Conan, you've been on every show there is.
Sure.
How many... When's your, I mean, you're on Rachel Ray more than Rachel Ray. I mean, you're
quite a bit, yeah. I mean,
okay, so here's my question.
Sure.
You either travel with this animal, or you something, God forbid, happens.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine that there is in Buffalo. There's not a vet that goes, "Oh, I work on mountain lions and lynx and elephants." And there's a couple of vets that, and that's a really great question. Is that believe it or not, zoological medicine in Buffalo?
Buffalo, there are a couple of vets here in Buffalo that some see primates, some see other animals like this. So, and and again, I work with vets that also work with zoos too. So I mean,
this thing's got keen hearing.
And also too, I mean, we're about an hour and a half from Cornell University, which has probably one of the top vet schools around, even for wild animals. And that's, and you think about it too, like even, I'm dealing with them like as education animals, but, there's vets around that have to deal with zoo animals. There's vets around that have to deal with like, let's say, one of these animals gets hit by a car and a rehabber has to have it treated, or like a bird of prey or something like that. There's vets in the area that are trained specifically to learn about these guys. And, it's like being a detective, because, I mean, there's not as much knowledge as like a cat or a dog. Plus, you got to really know your stuff to, to treat one of these guys.
I just like that Rob's about 3 feet away from the animal, and he goes, "This thing's got keen hearing.
Yeah.
They could hear me from all the way over there."
No, that's not what happened. Does it have like insane hearing?
It does, yeah.
Okay, because here's why. I just, out of not realizing it, I cracked my knuckles just now.
Yeah.
And I saw its ears kind of hone in on that and turn and look at me.
Oh yeah, I mean those ears.
It was not my voice going through the microphone.
I mean, these ears right here, just think of them as like little radar dishes. I mean, they'll pick up any sound. And what's neat about, see the little tufts? Lynx are the only lynx, and there's another cat called the caracal, have these little tufts on their ears. So when they're walking through the grass, they also pick up vibrations too. So those little tufts, if a rabbit is in front of them or something and it hits the ground and those vibrations go up the blades of grass, those tufts are going to pick it up.
Oh,
isn't that wild? I mean, it's just definitely, such an... Look at him, he's looking outside. He's
I'm afraid he's going to see...
He wants to go play in the snow.
He does. Oh, this guy loves the snow.
Like, can you take him out? You can't let him off the leash. You can't.
No.
If you can't let a dog off the leash, why could you let a lynx?
Right.
And you're still doing the educational stuff too?
Yeah, and like Boris has been to a lot of schools, and he's just been...
Why is he doing that? He's like making this...
I think he's looking at... He sees something... Oh, he sees someone walking over there, so...
Like, does he want to kill it or something? Because his ass just went in the air. Look what he's doing with his...
What does he have against UPS?
Russ, if you want to, speaking of his backside, Russ, if you scratch...
Lift up that tail and lift...
No, on top of his tail, just like your cat at home, scratch his butt and see if he does.
Right here?
Yep. Here, scratch that. Just real, there you go.
The tail's lifting up.
Yeah.
It's like on hydraulics.
Yeah. But look at that. Like, he'll just...
Funny.
And just like your, cat at home, they do have their G-spots. So.
Russ, are you working the G-spot right now?
I apparently am. I finally found one.
No kidding. And I'm not making big circles and she's not drunk. All right, well, listen, we got to take a break. We got to get to Vic Carucci. We'll go back with more Jarod Miller. But if you have a pet, a cat or a dog that can do a fun, stupid pet trick, it's a lot of fun. It's huge. It's such an awesome thing.
It's great. I mean, this is the third year that I've been involved in it. And like that first year, I mean, it was amazing. We had a dog that went into Letterman.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's nuts.
The first year.
And I think I'm excited about this year because I'm hoping a lot of the people still come back that maybe didn't go as far, and they had 2 years to hone in their skills. But to get those dogs back, and then to see what people do with their house cats is going to be really cool too. So.
And then they'll face off, right? The winning dog and the winning cat.
I don't think we got to be careful.
Oh, okay.
We can't. I don't know if we can mix them together.
Yeah.
But no, I think...
Well, you should. You should bring out that... So, yeah, it's very cute. You're a little chihuahua. Yeah. Now we're going to introduce it to Lynx.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell the thing is. All right, we'll take a break. We got to get to Vic Carucci and find out what's happening with the NFL.
We do. And right now we'll check the traffic. There it is. Check the traffic from the Celino Barnes Traffic Center. Chris, what's